still going off. And everybody else is like, no, actually, it smells nice. Right? Everybody's tone changed. But this person, you know what he doesn't realize? What's his problem? He hasn't experienced taqwa. Because he doesn't realize that the boss is watching. Now, that times infinity, we're having a debate about Allah. Allah is not listening? He's not watching? That you're speaking, the slave is speaking about the master like this? SubhanAllah. I've heard things said in lectures, about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh, if Allah is like this, then how come this, and this? How are you talking about Allah like this? You just don't say some things. We don't talk like this, right? So that's one area, definitely. The way in which we speak about Allah. Allah actually addresses this subhanahu wa ta'ala in His book. هَذَانِ خَصْمَانِ اخْتَصَمُوا فِي رَبِّهِمْ. These two groups are viciously arguing about their Lord. He doesn't even say Allah, he says their Lord. Because it gives you a sense of perspective. What are you talking about? Someone who's, in complete control over you, was watching over you. Anyway, so that's one area certainly. Another area where this kind of the attitude of humbling oneself manifests is in conflicts, especially conflicts between Muslims. When Muslims try to serve Islam, you turn a religious leaf, something happened in your life, you saw something, you heard something penetrated a little more closer to Islam. In the beginning, it's a spiritual incline. And then you want to volunteer at the school, or you want to help out at the masjid, or you want to join the qabila, or something. And then when you do, somebody didn't respond to their emails. And somebody didn't make the flyers. And that person said something they totally shouldn't have. And this person made a snickering comment, I wonder what they meant by that. And that sister was looking at you funny during the class. And all of this, and what happens? This friction being built between people who are all together to serve Allah. Right? Allah says, وَقُلْ لِعِبَادِي. It's so beautiful. And tell my slaves, يَقُولُ الَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. Say that which is best. Use words carefully. Be humble. Soft to each other. Overlook the other's mistakes. Right? And then he says, إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ يَنْزَغُ بَيْنَكُمْ. It is no doubt shaitan that causes dissent among you. Shaitan is looking to make you lose your steam and to get you to lose your motivation. How does he do that? By getting Muslims to misbehave with each other. That's the best way to lose steam. And I used to volunteer, but then some guy came to me and was totally obnoxious. Now I don't go there anymore. Isn't that what happens? I used to go to that masjid, I used to volunteer, and then one day this uncle came and he totally uncled me. And now I don't go there. Right? So it is the inappropriate behavior we have towards each other. It's a manifestation of ego, really. It's a manifestation of ego that we have to curb, inshallah ta'ala. That's another example. A third example, probably the most difficult one for me, is taking advice from people that you see less than you. Right? Taking advice from people that you see less than you. Like if I'm playing video games, and my 6-year-old daughter comes to me and says, Dad, it's Asr time. Who are you? Go play with your... I taught you how to play. It's hard to take advice from people that you see as less than you, right? The husband has a hard time taking advice from the wife sometimes, right? The boss has a hard time taking advice from the employee. The student may have a hard time taking advice from the teacher. The speaker may have a hard time taking advice from the audience. The khatib may have a hard time taking advice from the congregation. Brother, you gave a great khutbah, but I have some suggestions. Thanks a lot, but I think if your suggestion was so great, you should have been up there. So taking advice from people that you keep listening. Sometimes this happens among young people, that maybe somebody who is a lot less knowledgeable than you are, a lot less practicing than you are, gives you some advice, gives you a criticism. Right? Who are you to criticize? You don't even wear a hijab. Who are you to tell me? Right? This is the ultimate ego. This is satanic at its core. This is satanic at its core. Because when you start thinking, I am better, then who's the first one to say that? The famous quote, I am better. It's Iblis. That's a satanic attitude. It's subconscious, but it's satanic. It is. To say that, أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِنْهُ. What are his credentials? What ibadah has he done? How long has he been around? What are his qualifications? He's dirt. Me? Take sajda to him? Come on. You know, it manifests itself in different ways. But one of the ways that I've seen, especially, elders taking advice from youth, husbands taking advice from wives, parents taking advice from children, sisters taking advice from sisters, brothers taking advice from brothers, taking advice from where you normally wouldn't take advice from, or take criticism from. You know, criticism is a means, even if it's falsely attributed, it's a means of checking your ego. You know, if somebody just, you know, after, what happened to me actually one time, it was great. One time, somebody came up to me and said that you wasted my time. And I said, I'm sorry, I really am. You want to go out to lunch or something? You know, so, let me make it up to you, man. But, you know, we have to learn to take these kinds of negative, you know, these statements and use them as excuses to check our ego. And this is one of the hardest things to do. One of the hardest things to do. Jazakallah khair. Inshallah. وبحمدك. Once again, أستغفرك. إن الإنسان لفي